Hi, I'm Peter Irving, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, former mixed martial arts professional, and now I coach full-time. On day one, first day you walk into an MMA gym, you don't need that much equipment. It is worth investing in a decent pair of shorts though. If you get an ordinary pair of shorts that's got pockets, that's got zips, that's going to cut the people that you're training with. It's a little bit dangerous. You can get toes and fingers wrapped up in pockets. So a board short style MMA custom short, that's worth spending a little bit of money on. Apart from that, you just need a t-shirt. That's really all you need. You're going to want to get yourself a gum shield because even when you first start grappling, you can clash heads, accidents can happen even if you're not sparring. So a gum shield's a good investment. Yeah, once you've been training for a little while, you're probably already starting to work some mitts, maybe even a little bit of sparring. Get yourself a pair of boxing gloves. Now, some gyms have ones to loan, but I'm never ever comfortable wearing borrowed boxing gloves. I mean, you wouldn't wear a pair of socks that 15 other guys have been for a jog in. So yeah, get your own pair of gloves. You don't have to get the top of the range ones. You don't have to go right to the top, but equally don't go right to the bottom. Just get the best pair of gloves that you can afford. Don't have to go nuts, but get a decent pair that are going to last. Because if you buy the cheapest ones there, they're going to fall to bits and they're not going to adequately protect your hands. Once you start sparring, you're going to want to get some decent protective equipment. Your shin pads. Shin pads is a matter of personal preference. Some people like to spar MMA in the sock style sleeve kind of shin pads. Other guys will wear the heavier tie style ones that give you more protection. But me personally, I prefer the tie style ones, even though it's real difficult once you hit the mat to start passing the guard and things like that. When you've got those heavy ones on, I think the trade-off's worth it. When it comes to gloves, you don't want to be wearing the professional style small compact glove. Get yourself the amateur style sparring glove, because even when you're a pro, that's the style that you're going to be sparring in. A head guard, again, it's a matter of personal preference and a gym preference. So refer to your coach, ask him, do you need to wear a head guard in your gym, or are you okay to go without it? When you first start out, you're probably going to be using the same boxing glove for everything, for bag work, for pad work, and sparring. Once you start getting real serious about it, you don't want to be wearing out your sparring gloves by hitting the heavy bag with them, hitting the mitts with them. So get yourself a 16-ounce glove for sparring in. And my preference is a 10-ounce glove, a 10-ounce Muay Thai style fight glove for hitting the pads in. I feel like that gives me the best feedback, but I can still fit in enough protection underneath the glove, a good hand wrap, in a way that you can't with an MMA glove. A brief note about the differences between MMA gloves and boxing gloves. Now, an MMA fight glove, you're not going to use it all that much in training. It's a little bit too dangerous for sparring in. Most of the time, I'll just be wearing mine just to get used to the feel of the gloves while I'm grappling. Pad work, bag work, it's pretty easy to damage your hands in those smaller gloves, so I'll save them for the fight time. The MMA sparring glove, the more bulbous style there, again, not brilliant for hitting bags and pads in. The shape of the glove offers that bit of extra protection for when you're doing lighter MMA sparring, but it's not perfect for making connections with the hands. So when I'm doing kickboxing sparring, a little bit heavier, or working the mitts, I'm going to wear a boxing style glove. For pads, I prefer a lighter 10-ounce glove with a lace-up cuff. That's just my preference, and it's a bit of a pain. You need a coach there to tie them up for you, so you might elect to go for a Velcro cuff. But my preference is always for that lace-up. I really think it's worth spending that little bit of extra time just for the extra wrist protection that it affords. So if you're doing a little bit of extra training outside the gym, you're going to want to get just a few little pieces of kit. If you're a full-time coach like me, you're probably going to have a whole selection of different pads, different tie pads, different focus mitts for different weight guys, for different purposes. But just hedge your bets in the middle if you're just doing a little bit of home training. Get one decent set of hand focus mitts and one decent set of mid-sized tie pads, and that should be good for everybody. You might want to get yourself a ground and pound bag too. You can make one by just taking an upright punch bag and putting it down, but a bespoke ground and pound or grappling dummy is going to help you do that little bit of extra ground training as well.